If you're a lover of accidental heroes and underwhelming quotes, then you need to meet Mediocrates. This is a tale of a man who, in the grand tapestry of history, managed to carve out a niche for himself not through grand deeds or profound wisdom, but through sheer indifference. Mediocrates, a name that might not ring any bells, was a philosopher in ancient Greece, a land renowned for its intellectual giants like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. These were men who pondered the mysteries of existence, the nature of reality, and the essence of virtue. But Mediocrates, he was different. He was the philosopher who shrugged at the world and its grand ambitions. The man so unimpressed, he shrugged off an empire. Imagine a time when philosophers were the rock stars of their era, their words and thoughts shaping the very fabric of society. In this vibrant intellectual landscape, Mediocrates stood out, not for his brilliance, but for his remarkable ability to remain utterly unimpressed. So picture this: ancient Greece, a land brimming with philosophers, heroes, and gods. The air was thick with debates on ethics, politics, and metaphysics. The agora, the central public space in ancient Greek city-states, was a bustling hub of activity where ideas were exchanged and reputations were made. It was in this environment that Mediocrates lived, a man whose greatest achievement was waking up before noon. Yes, you heard that right. While others were busy seeking knowledge and enlightenment, Mediocrates was content with the simple pleasure of a good sleep. His peers might have been striving for greatness, but Mediocrates found contentment in the mundane. His philosophy was one of minimal effort and maximum relaxation. Enter Alexander the Great, a man whose name is synonymous with ambition and conquest. Alexander, a student of Aristotle, had a vision of a world united under his rule. He was a man of action, a conqueror who sought to leave his mark on history. With more ambition in his little toe than most have in their whole body, Alexander was a force to be reckoned with. One day, Alexander, in his quest for wisdom and perhaps a bit of validation, sought out the opinions of the philosophers of his time. He wanted to know what the great minds thought of his grand plans for global conquest. When he came knocking on Mediocrates' door, he was likely expecting a profound insight or at least some form of flattery. But our man Mediocrates, true to his nature, replied with a simple, "Mayor, seems exhausting." It was a response that encapsulated his entire philosophy. No flattery, no fear, just pure unbothered mayor. In a world that revered ambition and achievement, Mediocrates' indifference was both shocking and refreshing. Yep, that's it. No flattery, no fear, just pure unbothered mayor. It was a moment that could have been straight out of a comedy, yet it was real. Mediocrates' response was a stark contrast to the reverence and awe that Alexander was accustomed to. It was a reminder that not everyone was swept up in the tide of ambition and conquest. And guess what? Alexander, not known for his sense of humor or appreciation for critique, especially of the May variety, did not take it well. In fact, he took it so poorly he had Mediocrates off right there. Talk about overreacting, eh? It was a brutal end for a man who had dared to be different, who had dared to shrug at the grand designs of one of history's greatest conquerors. Mediocrates' fate serves as a darkly humorous reminder of the perils of indifference in a world that often demands passion and commitment. His story is a testament to the fact that sometimes not caring can be a revolutionary act in itself. It challenges us to think about the value we place on ambition and the lengths we go to achieve it. So here's to Mediocrates, the least achieving philosopher you've never heard of, who basically dismissed an empire with a single word. His legacy might not be one of great achievements or profound wisdom, but it is one that reminds us of the power of indifference. In a world that often glorifies ambition and success, Mediocrates stands as a symbol of the freedom that comes with not caring too much. A darkly funny reminder, maybe sometimes it's better to just say, "Yeah, sounds great, mate," and keep your maze to yourself. But then again, where's the fun in that? Mediocrates' story is a call to embrace our inner indifference, to find humor in the absurdity of life, and to remember that sometimes the most profound statements are the simplest ones. In the grand scheme of things, Mediocrates might not have changed the world, but he certainly left his mark. His story has been passed down through the ages, a quirky footnote in the annals of history. It serves as a reminder that not all heroes wear capes, and not all philosophers need to be profound. Sometimes a simple shrug is all it takes to make a statement. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by the demands of life, remember Mediocrates. Take a deep breath, give a little shrug and say, meh, seems exhausting. After all, in a world that often takes itself too seriously, a little indifference can go a long way. Here's to Mediocrates, the philosopher who shrugged at Alexander and reminded us all of the power of a well-timed meh.